Hi, I just wanted to share a few things that helped me with anxiety and depression. They are in my mind, I want to think of one as an upper and the other as a downer. And so to mix the two is really quite interesting. And for my personal experiences, depression has been more prevalent through my lifetime. And there were times in my lifetime where I thought I was completely done with experiencing depression, or at least I knew how to manage it. I knew that it was underlying there, and that had I fallen behind on my self care routine, my hobbies, my sense of purpose, falling behind on just responsibilities, those type of things would very easily, like falling behind on any of that, and the depression would rise. So it was a sense of feeling empowerment over being able to control it. But in the end, I think I burnt myself out by trying to control it instead of understanding it and integrating it. And so that's why I want to share this. Eventually, that depression turned into anxiety, and anxiety turned into what I started to notice as ADHD symptoms. I have since learned that ADHD symptoms can actually be symptoms of depression once it reaches a certain level. It's just the next tick up. And and as I say this, I want to let you know that as I experience dark nights of the soul, as I experience depression, as I experience phone calls to the suicide hotline, as I say things to people that is dark humor, and then I might like barely blink an eye and I'm like, huh, I just said that. That probably wasn't right to say, but I did say it, so it is what it is. It slipped out, and I catch myself. I definitely do, but I don't blink an eye at it. And through all this, I just want you to know that I am supported. I am taken care of. I do love myself. I love my family, and I have an amazing home. I have a vehicle. I always have an abundance of food. I'm actually kind of wasteful with food. Just that's a totally different story. And a lot of it is health reasons with diets, restrictions. And yeah, different story, like I said. So learning, and so that tells me it's something deeper, right? It's not like I'm not homeless. I'm not in a harmful physical situation at this time. My body will have experiences of trauma. There's moments where I will sit in disassociation, for one, and a lot of the ADHD is just like the overwhelm of the nervous system, and that creates the ADHD symptoms. And so it is just a matter of like the cortisol being overloaded, the nervous system being overloaded and dysregulated, and just bringing all that back into balance is definitely a journey. And it really, I could be doing something else. I could be out drinking. I could be out probably distracting myself or improving myself in some other ways. But instead, I'm diving deep into this as psychologically and physically, scientifically, and spiritually as possible, because to me, that's the only thing that's real. Like, hobbies come and go, jobs come and go, people come and go. But this body and this soul, like, this is all that I know is for real and is always here. Wow. I'm saying that made me get emotional. So I want to have reverence for this body, and I want to understand it, because obviously that's what we're here for. Reset for a moment with these tears. Pause in silence for a moment. Take a deep breath into your belly and hold it, count to 4 before exhaling. Exhale slowly for 6, 4, 2, 1, and hold. Release. Okay, so reset. See how easy that is? You just let the emotions come. 90 seconds, come and gone. It's That's done. I could have shoved that emotion down and tried to keep talking, but I just allow it to kind of, you just talk to it in your head. Allow it to process through, feel it where it needs to be felt, and you can move on. It's okay. So, moving on. Also, through understanding the depression, you talk to yourself in such a way that is so mean. It is so mean. And I have also learned that sometimes when we get close to each other in relationships, we get so close that. So I've first been on one spectrum where that person felt so comfortable that they showed me their worst side, and it really sucked for me. And I've also been on the other side where I felt so close to someone that I showed them my worst side. However, when I was doing it, I was 80% controlled. 80% of the time, I was mostly controlled and doing it in a way of like, I am saying these things knowing that I've said these things to myself and I've overcome it. And I want to see how this person reacts to it, because I want someone in my life that can handle the heavy emotional stuff. And if they haven't been through it themselves and they don't know how to support someone else through it, like I need someone like that in my environment, and not just for myself, but for the line of work that I am being called to in my lifetime. Right. My career is just starting. I have spent up till now being a mother, carrying a household mostly on my own. I haven't had the mother, father, child dynamic to where things are supportive and flowing. Like I have been hustling and doing things. And that's where a lot of my experience and knowledge comes from. And now's the time for me to apply all of this. So I need someone strong. And through dating, I will say certain things that might sound weird and negative and bad, but also sometimes I'm just testing the person to see their reaction, right? Mostly because I already suspect that their reaction is going to be a certain way. And so otherwise, like, now I've learned I don't need to test people that way. Now I've learned if I feel the need to test someone like that, it's just a hard no. It's a hard no. I've learned I have such a compassionate heart and so much empathy for where everyone is at on their own journey. And I know that I am very helpful to people on their journey, and being around me is a huge uplift and an influence. And that's amazing. But also, I can get taken advantage of very quickly. And also, some people are subconsciously attracted to that and not intentionally attracted to that. If they're intentionally attracted to that, then great. That usually it ends in collaboration and projects and growth, and it's amazing. But if there's not the intention, then it's a slow leak of energy, and they're just there to take. And I don't have like I've learned that's a hard boundary for me now. It's I am no longer here to fix people on a personal level in my personal life. As a job, absolutely. Let's change the world together. But as my personal circle, I need people that are not afraid of the work. I need people that know the work when they see it. I love being around the people that are ready to take it to the next level, because being a magician is an incredible feeling. It's powerful. And through the moments of depression, through those moments of self doubt, self hate, saying those things to myself and or saying those things to other people to see how they react, I have learned that none of those things are true ever. I'm never as bad as I say I am, and the situation is never as bad as I think it is. And in me saying that about myself, I know that no one else can ever say that about me and it be true. Does that make sense? Kind of like that saying, Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So going through the depression myself has allowed me to build this armor that words from other people, even though they are very powerful and they do create spells, but I have created a very special protective armor around me with my own self love, my own self trust, my own power of God that protects me. And so I can have the hard conversations without being defensive because I have seen the bad things in me. I mean, the things that are true too. I've seen the bad things in me. So if someone points it out 100%, I'd be like, yeah, I know that that's there. I didn't know that that was a problem for you. Now I know it's a problem for you. Let's work on a solution, right? And it takes the defensiveness away from it. Knowing my own weaknesses, knowing and relating to my own devil. Like I know that my devil and demons are there and sometimes they're useful, and knowing when to allow them to come out. Sometimes they're necessary. And also sometimes they come out unnecessarily and I just need to be reminded to put them away. And I'm not afraid to bounce back and forth like that. But I got to be around other people that also have that type of control to know when it's appropriate to dive deep, but also to know when silence is necessary. Silence is necessary sometimes, but not all the time. And sometimes silence is a sign of weakness, a sign of defensiveness, a sign of shutting down. And that's not great either. So it's when you go through depression and you come out on the other side, you have this new sense of self worth that is just unarguable, right? It's sometimes people might project certain things about themselves that they see in you also, but it's if someone says, I'm an argumentative person, I can say, yes, I am, because I'm very practiced in argumenting. But if the situation has escalated into arguing, you can guarantee that that was an escalation and not the beginning because I've done the work. I know the regulation, and that's just my experience. You know, I've been running a household for 25 years. You learn a lot from learning a household, and not just one household, many households, because I've rebuilt my life many times. You know how hard it is to allow your life to crumble and rebuild? Do you know how much strength and courage that takes? Do you know how much courage it takes to walk away? Do you know how much courage it takes to not throw in the towel? So when I say I know a thing or two about resilience and courage, I hope you believe me. And if not, I hope the proof is in these stories, within the sharing, right? So next, let me take a drink, just one moment. So I did mention that eventually anxiety became a thing of the depression. I have heard that depression refers more to the past and anxiety refers more to the future. And I would say that that could be correct because through the depression, it's kind of the dark night of the soul, and you're reflecting on a lot of the bad and the negative things that have happened to you in your life. And anxiety is more about fear of the future, in the sense when I get anxiety when it comes to going to work, because I know that these jobs are not where I belong. I know that I have a different calling, like these videos, and just expanding this new earth, expanding this energy. There's a lot coming in, and it's part of my journey to help with that expansion. And so at the moment though, I have this regular job. Job stands for just over broke. This regular job that I go to Monday through Friday. And I get anxiety for the fear that I will always be there, that that's all my future will ever amount to. And that anxiety becomes overwhelming because then it's not just about going to work on that day. It becomes about going to work that day and that week and that month and that year and your entire life. And in that split moment of you trying to get the courage to go to work, your entire life is being sucked into you giving your entire life to this job. Again, with the emotion. I don't know if I know I've mentioned it in some of my earlier videos, but not recently. A lot of these videos are for my own talk therapy. As you can see, it works. I'm going to give myself just a moment to clear out this energy coming through. It will be a pause. Go ahead and take some box breathing, 4 count method. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold 4 counts, exhale 4 counts, and hold 4 counts. Repeat. Thank you for the pause. It's amazing how quickly just using the breath to allow yourself to come into the moment can allow an emotion to pass through. There's times when I'm alone. So, as I was talking about the subject and the tears started coming up, if I'm alone and in a place and space where I have the time and privacy to allow that process to happen, I will usually allow the thought process to dive deeper, to ruminate on the thoughts, to allow the words to expand, to dive into the root of the thing, or allow the tears to come up and flow a little bit more. But obviously, I'm not going to do that sitting here on camera, and I do have work that I need to get to. So, but I also just didn't want to shove it down, like just shoving it down and trying to process, like the breathing. I wasn't shoving it down with the breath, I was just breathing. And you can see how quickly it moved through. Just allowing yourself the time to pause and process. And going forward, that's going to save you a world of trouble if you're not shoving that down into your body. Is going to a job every day a touchy subject for me? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it something I'm going to try to shove down and hide? No. But it is the situation that I'm at now. And it is where I've been trying to get, I have been talking to God more and allowing more of my decisions and time to be based in God. And is that kind of surrendering and giving up because I'm tired of making decisions? Absolutely. My decisions, well, they've got me where they've got me. It's time to give direction the give the direction book to someone else. Let them read the directions and they can translate to me. And so as of now, I'm at this job because that's God's plan. And it's great. I'm making a difference in people's lives. There's a lot of things in town that need my job in order to function. And I know that all the people I come across have a little bit of a brighter day after exchanging smiles because that's what being human's about. And I'm realizing I can't see a clock right now, so I probably should be wrapping this up. If you stuck around for this video, that's amazing. That means you are dedicated to doing the self work. You are curious about why we behave the way we behave. You have some form of discontentment with things that are happening with inside your emotions, inside your overthinking, inside the way your body is holding emotion, and you want to figure it out. So here we are figuring it out together. My name's Deb. I spelled out with two B's. And yeah, like or comment. Make sure you let me know where you're at, what's resonating, what's not resonating, and subscribe so that whatever message you need for the day is being sure to cross your feed. Cheers.